Here we have schematic representation of transport and exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide. So here we have shown, here we have lungs, then here we have heart, and this part shows the body cells. So blood from the lungs, so this half part, here we have left side we have oxygenated blood, and here right side we have deoxygenated blood. So here we have lungs. So oxygenated blood from the lungs enter into the heart. So it enters into the left atrium, then left ventricle. From left ventricle through the major aorta, it get divided into arteries and arterioles, then it enters into the body cells. From the body cell, oxygen is taken in and carbon dioxide is given out. This given out carbon dioxide passes into the veins or vena cava. Larger one is vena cava. It enters into the right atrium, then right ventricle, and then through the pulmonary artery it enters into the lungs. So this is the flow of oxygen and carbon dioxide through the blood. So the same blood flows through the heart. One time that blood is oxygenated and same blood is deoxygenated, it flows two times through the heart. So human circulatory system is called as the, or human circulation is called as the double circulation. So here exchange of the oxygen and carbon dioxide takes place through the lungs, heart and body cells. Okay, so here we have lungs, heart, and here we have body cells. This left part shows the oxygenated blood, this right part shows the deoxygenated blood. Now if we study the human heart has four chambers. Now see, in human body oxygenated and deoxygenated blood is kept separately. Okay, so why oxygenated and deoxygenated blood is kept separately? Because we know human or mammals are warm blooded animal. They have to maintain their body temperature. They cannot change their body temperature according to the environment. So those who are warm blooded animal like mammals and birds, they have to maintain their body temperature. They cannot change their body temperature according to the environment, so their energy requirement is more. So by keeping the oxygenated and deoxygenated blood separately, this energy requirement is fulfilled. If you observe the amphibians, or if we observe the reptiles, in that case they have three chambered heart, means they have two atrium and one ventricle. So there is some little mixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood takes place, because they have two atrium and one ventricle, so they have three chambered heart, because their energy requirement is less as compared to the mammals and the birds. So in case of the mammals and birds, energy requirement is high because they cannot change the body temperature according to the environment. Their energy requirement is high, so it is very necessary to keep the oxygenated and deoxygenated blood separately. If we observe in case of the fish is cold blooded animal, and fish can change the body temperature according to the environment. So in case of the fish, there are only two chambers to the heart, one is atrium and one is ventricle. So there is mixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood takes place, but energy requirement of the body of the fish is very less, because it can change its body temperature according to the environment. So mammals and birds are four chambered heart and they are warm blooded. Then reptiles and amphibians have three chambered heart, they are mixed blooded. And fish, they are aquatic, or they are from the Pisces group, and they have two chambered heart and they are cold blooded animals. Now here we have shown the instrument. This instrument is called as the sphygmomanometer, and this sphygmomanometer is used to measure the pressure on the blood. That we say it's the blood pressure. So blood pressure is measured by the instrument called as the sphygmomanometer. Now what is the blood pressure? Blood pressure is the pressure on the blood when the heart contract and when the heart relax. We know there is a pressure on the blood only on the blood which is present in the arteries. The blood which is present in the veins, there is no pressure or very less pressure. So pressure in the pressure on the blood which is present in the arteries is very great as compared to the veins. So when we say the blood pressure, means we say the pressure on the blood which is present in the artery. So there are two types of pressures. One is called as the ventricular systole and one is called as the ventricular diastole. So systole means contraction and diastole means relaxation. When our heart contract or when our heart relax, there are two types of pressure are exerted on the arteries. So when there is a contraction or a systole, then it is called as the systolic pressure, and when there is a relaxation, then it is called as the diastolic pressure. So systolic pressure during the contraction is about 120 mm of Hg. Hg means mercury. Here in this sphygmomanometer, mercury is filled like thermometer. So it increases its level or decreases its level. So systolic pressure means whenever there is a contraction, there is an increase in the level of the mercury in that sphygmomanometer is about 120 mm. And diastolic pressure means whenever ventricles going to contract, there is a relaxation. Whenever ventricles are going to relax, then in that relaxation there is a pressure is about 80 mm of Hg. So here we have two types of pressure. One is called as the systolic pressure during the contraction of the heart, that is 120 mm of Hg, and second one is diastolic pressure during the relaxation of the heart, that is the 80 mm of Hg. And here it is the pressure only present on the blood which is in the artery. We don't measure the pressure on the blood which is present in the vein, because veins have very less pressure, and pressure of the blood is measured by the sphygmomanometer. When the pressure of the blood increases more above the 180 mm, then it is called as the hypertension, and when it decreases below the 80, then it is called as the low BP. So the person who are suffering from the high BP means its systolic pressure is greater than 120, then they have to go under the medication. Then we have to study one more fluid in the blood, that is called as the lymph. Lymph is very similar to blood, but lymph is yellowish or whitish yellowish in color, and it is another fluid which also helps in the transportation in the our blood, in our body along with the blood. Blood is red in color, lymph is whitish or yellowish in color, and lymph is also called as the tissue fluid. Okay, now how this lymph is formed? Now see, there is one system in our body like blood circulatory system, we have lymphatic system. Now lymph is nothing but the substance which comes out from the blood capillaries when blood passes through the blood vessels. When blood passes through the blood vessels, as blood capillaries are very thin walled, some of the material from the blood vessel comes out of the blood capillaries, and that material contain some plasma proteins, or some salts or some water molecules. It comes out from the blood capillaries, and it get collected around the cells. So as it get collected around the cell, then it is also called as the tissue fluid. Okay, this tissue fluid is called as the lymph, and it helps in the carrying of the waste substances or carbon dioxide. It also contains the cells which are called as the lymphocytes. Okay, so these lymph carry the digested material, absorbed fat material, it carries the waste material, it also carry the carbon dioxide. It again enter into the blood, enter into the heart. So we say blood flow from heart to body part and body part to heart. But the blood flows in the both direction, from body part to heart, heart to body part. But lymph is unidirectional. Here we have the diagram of the lymphatic system in human body. Now see, lymph is passed through the various part into the body. So there are like blood vessels, there are lymph vessels. Blood flows through the blood vessel, lymph flows through the lymph vessels. And lymph vessels get connected at the points. That points are called as the lymph nodes. Okay, and lymph, there are again larger lymph vessels or the larger tubes which carry the lymph, they are called as the lymph vessels, and smaller one which carry the lymph or the tissue fluid, they are called as the lymph capillaries. And the place where these lymph vessels and blood lymph capillaries meets together, that are called as the lymph nodes. Okay, so this lymph is unidirectional, means it flows only in the one direction. Now see, this lymphatic system contain the four parts. Lymphatic system, like blood circulatory system, we have lymphatic system. So here we have four parts of the lymphatic system. One is called as the lymph capillaries, which are very smaller one. Second one, lymph vessels. third one is the lymph nodes, and fourth one is the lymph is the substance like blood. So lymph capillaries are hair-like structure. Many lymph capillaries comes together and they connected with the larger tube that is called as the lymph vessels. All lymph vessels connected to one point, that points are called as the lymph nodes or lymph glands, and the material which flows through these vessels, that is called as the lymph. Lymph is very similar to blood, but blood is red in color because it contains RBCs. Lymph doesn't contain RBCs or WBCs, it contains its own cells. That cells are called as the lymphocytes. Now these lymph flows only in one direction, means lymph flows only from the body part to the heart. The lymph is the material or the tissue fluid is the material. It is unidirectional, means it flows only in one direction, that it flows from the body part, various body part, to the heart. So when the blood flows through the blood vessel, lymph is present in the blood. So this is the heart, and blood flows through the various blood vessels. So lymph is not comes lymph does not flow from heart to body part. When blood is flowing from heart to body part, lymph is present in the blood and lymph is coming out of the blood vessels or blood capillaries. So there is no flow of the lymph, there is no separate flow of the lymph when it flow from the heart to body part, because it flows through the artery through the great pressure. So lymph is the material which comes out of the blood through the blood vessel, which contain protein, which contain salt, which contain plasma, but there are no WBCs and RBCs. So it is yellowish or colorless fluid. Now when these blood flows or the blood flows from the heart to body part to heart, then there is a presence of this lymph. So this lymph is said to be unidirectional. This lymph which get collected around the tissue, it is also called as the tissue fluid. This lymph flows from the body part to heart. When it enter into the heart, it again mixed with the blood and it flow as the part of the blood circulatory system. So direction of the lymph or the direction of the lymphatic system is only from the body part to heart. When it enter into the heart, it again mix with the blood and flow as the blood. So that is about the lymph. Okay, now this lymph has various functions. Like this lymph contains some nutritive substances and it gets circulated around the body. Okay, so it helps in the circulation of the larger protein molecules. Okay, it helps in the circulation of the larger protein molecule. Okay, second one, it contains the cells. That cells are called as the lymphocyte, and it also work as the WBCs. WBCs in the blood kills the germ. Similarly, lymphocytes also kills the germ. And lymph also carry the waste product. It also carry the carbon dioxide, and it also remove the waste product like the fragment of the dead cells from the body.